It's Friday, May 3rd, and today I'm wondering if you'd like to hear my fantasy call of Saturday's Kentucky Derby.
And now, a word from our title sponsor.
Are all financial advisors fiduciaries? Fewer than you think. Not knowing could reduce your lifestyle. Hi, I'm Mitch Kramer, founder and CEO of Fluent Financial. A fiduciary is a regulatory term to reduce conflicts of interest in wealth management. A fiduciary always works in your best interest. A non-fiduciary advisor might put their compensation or company ahead of yours. At Fluent Financial, we are certified financial planners acting as fiduciary advisors. To learn more, go to fluentfinancial.com or Fluent Financial's YouTube channel.
There's been a significant development in your laundry room. Laundry detergent sheets, not dryer sheets, but the same concept. Paper thin, remarkably efficient. Just toss one into your load of clothes and voila! Sparkling clean and smelling great. And as a plus, they're hypoallergenic for those with sensitive skin. Plastic jugs of detergent, jugs that just wind up in trash heaps. It's easy to get your laundry detergent sheets. Just go to the link in today's podcast episode.
Introducing Star Power Smart Home Solutions, where cutting-edge technology meets effortless living. Control your entire home with just a tap on your smartphone. Adjust the lights, set the perfect temperature, and ensure your home is secure, all from the palm of your hand. Star Power has the experts that will transform your house into a secure, smart home. Experience the ultimate solution in comfort and security for your family. Get started at GetStarPower.com. Star Power, where innovation meets home.
What you are about to hear, and some of you see, is a fantasy call of the Kentucky Derby. I started doing this on the radio maybe 35 years ago. I love horse racing. And what I do is I introduce you to the entire field with a couple of comments on each horse. Then we load them in the gate, and then I picture how the race is going to be run. Certain horses like to run to the front, some like to run from far back, some like to run in the middle. They're called stalkers. Some horses don't belong in the Derby, some are major contenders. Let's get ready to go for it. Here's your fantasy call of Saturday's Kentucky Derby. We start with the field. Out of the one hole comes Dornoch. It's 20-1 morning line. It's won on 3 different tracks already, and it was second on 2 others. Man, this thing's good on the road. The number 1 horse hasn't won the Kentucky Derby in 38 years because you get bumped around down in there. Plus, it's a speed horse, and that's not the style that usually wins the Derby. Out of the number 2 hole comes Sierra Leone. This is a deep closer. It's a fine combination we got here. The trainer Chad Brown and the jockey Tyler Gaffalione, they're good. When Gaffalione rides for Brown, he wins 21% of the time. That's excellent. Now, the number 2 hole's not a particularly good hole either, but this horse runs from far back, so it may not affect him as much as the 1 hole will affect Dornoch. This horse's only loss was in the mud at Aqueduct, and there he just missed by a nose. The number 3 horse is Mystic Dan. He's 20-1. And it appears to me Mystic Dan's just not fast enough to win this race. And doesn't look like he's bred to run the full 1.25 miles. The number 4 horse is Catching Freedom. 8-1 morning line. This is Brad Cox with his favorite rider, Flavian Pratt, in the irons. This is a deep closer, comes roaring late, has improved every race. A contender here. Out of the 5 hole comes Catalytic, 30-1 morning line. It's run only 3 races. It has moderate speed, and it's not bred to go this far. Other than that, it's okay. The number 6 horse is Just Steel. It's run 11 races, it's won twice, and it's never won a graded stakes race, much less a grade 1, which is what this is. The number 7 is Honor Marie. 20-1 morning line. Its only bad race was on the turf. It's got a very low profile trainer and jockey combination. It runs late, but its big plus, it has 2 wins on the Churchill track and a bullet workout at Churchill getting ready for this race. Next out of the 8 hole comes Just a Touch. The odds will tell you this thing's got some chance. It's 10-1. It's Brad Cox again. He just keeps sending out terrific horses in this race. He's got 3 in the first 10 post position slots that have some reasonable chances. This horse has also run only 3 times, but it's getting better, and like many others, it likes to run from behind. The number 9 horse is Encino. Are you kidding me? Another Brad Cox horse? Yes, this is his 4th entry, but it's never run a grade 1 or a grade 2. It's got early speed, and that generally means you're cooked in this race. Out of the 10 hole comes T.O. Password. It's a Japanese horse. It's run twice in its life, and his jockey wins only 11% of the time in Japan. Adios, muchacho. The 11 horse is Forever Young. Now, this is another Japanese horse, but this one has to be respected. 10-1 morning line. Very interesting horse. Already won over $2 million in his racing career because he's won 2 7-figure races in Saudi Arabia. Those Saudis have money. It's 5 for 5 in its life. Perfect record coming to the Derby. The 11 horse, that is the 11 horse. The 12 horse is Track Phantom. Blinding speed from the gate, which is not a popular way to run in the Derby. It's never run a grade 1 race, but it has been gradually improving. The odds makers say this is 20-1, and he's likely to get cooked in a speed duel. The 13 horse is West Saratoga. This horse has one significant problem. It's slow. The 14 horse is Endlessly. It's won 5 of 6, but it's not a grade 1 runner. It is a late runner, and the jockey Rispoli is very underrated. Let's go to the 12 horse, Domestic Product. It's 30-1. Another Brad Cox horse, but this is the worst of his entries. This one sticks close to the pace, and it would need a major improvement to be in contention here. The 16 horses, Grand Mo the First. Only 2 wins, and those came versus moderate opponents. It's likely to try to lie just off the pace, but it just doesn't have enough speed. The odds makers looked at this horse and made it 50-1. Out of the 17 hole, first of all, the 17 hole has never produced a winner in the history of the Kentucky Derby. It is tough out there, but this is fierceness, and this is the favorite. This is Todd Pletcher riding J.R. Velasquez, 2 Hall of Fame horsemen. And the patterns, well, this horse runs well and then poorly, and then well and then poorly, and then well, which is what he ran last race. Is he going to duplicate that fabulous effort from last race? Or will he retreat and run poorly again? By the way, he has failed to win 2 of his 5 races. And in each of those races, he had trouble. And the 18 hole is Stronghold. 3 wins and 3 seconds, but not fast figures. He stays close to the pace, which from the 18 hole is going to be tough to do. It's 20-1, morning line. The number 19 is Resilience, trained by the legendary Bill Mott. He also lays just off the pace, which again, from the very, very, very far outside, makes for a tough and wide trip usually. He's never raced in a grade 1 race. He's 20-1 morning line. And finally, the 20 horse. Don't worry about the 20 horse. Okay, let's go to the race itself. Let's load the horses in the gate. And here's your fantasy call of the Kentucky Derby. They load the 19, and the 20, the one you can forget, Society Man, goes in. They're all set, and they're off in the running of the Kentucky Derby. Fierceness bolts out from the 17 hole and heads for the front. Dornoch has to go from the 1 hole and tries to maintain a place along the rail. The 7-horse Track Phantom with Yoel Rosario's out fast also. And Encino hustles for the lead. Resilience from the 19 hole is trying to get out there and get a place that won't take it to a terribly wide trip. The 10-horse T.O. Password, forget that horse. The 18-horse Stranglehold gets out there and is running with Resilience. Then comes Just a Touch. Forever Young, the Japanese horse, broke pretty well and settles in there, about 7th or 8th in the field. Then comes Domestic Product, Just Steel, which is in tight between horses, and West Saratoga, that's already struggling. Then the mid-pack runners, Mystic Dan, Grand Mo First, already starts sliding back, and Catalytic is struggling to keep up. Then we go back to the very late runners, Endlessly, Honor Marie, Sierra Leone, and Catching Freedom. And then even further back to that 20 horse we told you could forget, Society Man. As we go around the first turn, Fierceness has gotten the lead, but the pace is fast. Dornoch, Track Phantom, and Encino all pressing the pace. Meanwhile, Resilience has slid back and got his stalking trip, along with Stronghold. There's Forever Young. Just Steel, Domestic Product, West Saratoga. The middle runners are just in there, but they're struggling to keep up. And the late runners, they're all back there relaxed. Their race is going to come way on down the line. Around the first turn and up the backstretch, it's Fierceness on the lead. Dornoch trying to keep up in second. Track Phantom to the inside between those two. Encino, the 9 horse, looks like it's struggling to keep up here after being hustled out of the gate. T.O. Password is cooked. Domestic Product is cooked. Just Steel's cooked. West Saratoga's cooked. Mystic Dan's not doing anything. Neither is Grand Mo First or Catalytic. But that Japanese horse, Forever Young, has positioned himself well and seems to be relaxed, running about 7th or 8th still. And then back to the late runners, where they're all chatting back there and telling jokes. As we come up the backside toward the final turn, Fierceness has the lead in the Kentucky Derby. Dornoch has given away a little bit on the rail, and Track Phantom's given away. So Fierceness is now clear a bit on the lead. The middle runners, except for Forever Young, the Japanese horse, they don't seem to be making a move here. But from the back of the pack, here comes Honor Marie, Sierra Leone, Catching Freedom. Now, Sierra Leone's toward the inside. It broke from the 2 hole, so it's got to weave its way through traffic. Honor Marie broke from the 7, is a little bit more on the outside, and to Anna Marie's inside comes Catching Freedom. Around the far turn of the Kentucky Derby, Fierceness has the lead. Forever Young has passed the tiring speed horses and has moved into second. From the back, launching their rallies, here come Sierra Leone, Anna Marie, and Catching Freedom. As they turn off the turn, Fierceness has the lead in Kentucky Derby. Forever Young's not gonna catch him in this race. He's flattened out. Here down the stretch come the late runners, and they are running, trying to catch the tiring Fierceness. Fierceness battles on. Here comes Anna Marie, Sierra Leone, Catching Freedom. Fierceness, 100 yards from the wire, still has the lead, and the winner of the Kentucky Derby is Fierceness, with the 8-1 shot. Catching Freedom second. The 2-1, the number 2 horse, Sierra Leone, gets up for third. The 20-1 shot, Anna Marie, gets fourth in a photo over the number 11, Forever Young. That's the way I see it, and that's the way I'm going to bet it.
Today's episode brought to you by Fluent Financial, Retire Sooner, Better Lifestyle, and by Star Power, Love Where You Live.
Just Wondering is a production of DSP Media for FanStream Sports. You can find Norm's show along with other great programming at fanstreamsports.com.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed it, hit follow. And every weekday, a fresh new episode of Just Wondering will be delivered right to you. And if you enjoy this podcast, please share it with a friend. Finally, should you have questions or comments, please share them with us by going to X and our address at Norm's Clubhouse. That's Just Wondering with Norm Hitzges. And every day, I'll be just wondering about something.
And I'm Mary Hitchkus, and I'm just wondering too.